That's kind of I came to that realization that
Oh,
oh,
I'm an hour early.
uh, hermits started popping up with pictures of Hawaii. I'm like, you know what? That looks nice. And he sent me an app where I can look at land prices and kind of keep track, see what I can afford and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of thinning shit out to the point to where the only thing that's going is this truck and my 20-foot shipping container, which will have my motorcycle in it and whatever house stuff I'm taking, which I got.
Holy shit, we got on an hour early and people are still coming. Cool.
Nice.
Hey, Indy, Chrome Dome Omega, whoever else is here. I am in Nebraska, up in, what is it, Dakota?
Dakota City.
Dakota City, yes. South Sioux City. And hey, Smurf, how's it going? Yep, Riggs is right here. Say hi, Riggs.
What's going on, guys?
No, you're supposed to say hi, Riggs.
Oh.
He doesn't follow directions very well.
No.
But anyway,
I'm a stubborn fuck. That's German for you.
I found out just a little over an hour ago that I was going to be here, and Riggs just jumped up and came, and this is awesome. So, you know, what the fuck? We just shot a joke, and we're going to talk a little bit. No, Riggs is not high. Riggs is actually sort of a short dude. He's so short. Say, how short are you?
About 5'7".
No, how short is he? Not, you're not supposed to give the actual height. Anyways,
midget.
Remember Johnny Carson? You know, when Ed McMahon would always go, "How short is he?" That's what I'm hoping.
No.
Hoping for.
I'm not that old. I remember Jay Leno.
Well, Smurf remembers Johnny Carson. Anyways.
Remember, I was born in 88.
Oh, 88? God damn, I graduated high school by then.
Yeah. I'm a youngin', but there's plenty of mileage on these phones already.
Yep. Riggs got plenty of mileage. I think he's bragging to me about being a man slut.
Allegedly.
So anyways, we're sitting here in the parking lot of Taco John's or Taco One's, and there was nobody there.
Let's hope the cops don't come by and harass us like you've been known to have happened to you.
Yeah, I know. And
two of them just drove by with their alley lights on.
Oh, so. Great. See, Riggs has his car lit just like a bordello, so.
Yeah, but this don't strobe like in some of the whorehouses.
I wouldn't know. I've never been in a whorehouse.
No, that's what my house is. The whorehouse.
Okay.
I'm the whore.
That's right. That's right. Anyways, Mouth Agape Ape, welcome.
As Dougie says, agape.
Agape? Yeah. Well, poor Doug. If you guys haven't heard, the guy who sold Doug the car sold him a car with a hot title. So Doug
with a non-working gas gauge too.
Yeah, well, the non-working gas gauge at that price point is sort of expected. Yeah. You know, you expect them to turn the odometer, and you expect them to have other things wrong.
Yeah, she was a little worse for wear, but that hot title is a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
You can't exactly register a bucket of bolts if it's got a hot title.
No. So.
Can't do that.
That's right. He got tricked and not treated, and the guy didn't give him all of his money back. So
he didn't say whether the guy gave him a reach around or not. You know, he was kind of like giving the old fist on the back.
I don't know, but I think I'd be visiting the man with the baseball bat, going, "Motherfucker."
Well, you are in Nebraska, so you might be
Yeah.
He's got a purty mouth.
Yes. Just almost as pretty as yours.
Oh, baby.
Hey, can you guys hear Riggs okay? They're not talking. I think I offended them. Oh, Andy says yes, yes.
Okay, so he can hear the emissions from my suck hole, as Pop would say.
You heard it first. Riggs has a suck hole that makes emissions.
Or I made all the southern emissions at my mother's house. She fed me bean dip, so I gave her some gas before I left. She's like, "You asshole."
Yeah.
Like, well, you raised me, so get what you get.
So, how'd the trick or treating go tonight, Riggs?
Well, we went the usual route, and me and my little sister, we like our cats and shit, and we saw 2 or 3 of them. And she likes her bunnies. We saw a few bunnies. She got more than enough candy that she was satisfied with it. And came across the cat in one of the yard that was kind of cool enough to let us sit there and pet it for a few minutes. I'm like, all right, we got to get going.
Yep.
But she got more than enough candy. She was satisfied. She's like, can we go home? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. If you think you got enough candy, we can head back to the house. And went back, had cheese dip, and sat there and watched Netflix for a little while. And around about, I don't know, 9:15, she was about to fall asleep on the couch. So I'm like, I'm going to take off, get the light shut off, and lock her up. So she had a good time. It was worth calling off work for the day to take her trick-or-treating.
Oh, yeah.
And
she's only be big brother once.
Well, and she's 12 years old now, so she's getting into the teenage years where it's like, all right, you're getting a little too old to be going trick-or-treating.
Right.
Shit.
Should be going to the the Halloween parties now.
Right. So I want last year of being, officially okay to be gone, I wanted to go with her. So if you would have said something, we could have went and got the sidecar out. She's like, oh yeah. I'm like, we're a little late for that now.
Oh ho ho. Well, I like your costume.
Yeah. Ugly fucker.
I'm wearing a costume too. I've got my yellow shirt on and my overalls, so I'm a minion.
Or are you SpongeBob?
No, I'm not SpongeBob. I don't fry with love.
You just melt in their mouth.
No, I don't do that either. That's the thing about Monk is you just don't do anything.
Yeah. So much easier.
Yeah.
I went with Dougie to go eat, and we went to this restaurant. We're sitting there eating, and the waitress was a little flirty.
A flirty waitress. Who'd have imagined they'd whore themselves for tips? Shocking.
And then I look at my phone and got one of those "Hey, big head" texts. Like, yeah, delete. I don't need none of that bullshit.
No. But can you imagine working any job and giving out sexual vibes to somebody just so you think you could get extra money?
Oh, never.
But,
especially to somebody like me. Like, come on. They must be getting desperate if they're laying it on thick with me, man.
Well, a waitress's job is to separate you from as much money as possible because her actual job doesn't pay her shit.
True. But there's no private area for me to give her a big tip.
Mm.
And a little bit of throat yogurt. Might be able to talk a little easier, if she had, lubricated tonsils.
Well, I've heard it said that God gave men penises so that they'd have something to shut a woman up with.
Yeah, that's about the only time they're fucking quiet.
but I've already used that joke. Oh yes, bartenders are the same way.
Oh yeah, that's expected big time.
Ooh, onion ring. Ooh, I like onion rings.
There's a place on Gordon Drive. It's called Tasty In and Out. They make
Tasty in and out.
yes, yeah. Well,
Mm.
that used to be my nickname, you know, Tasty In and Out. But no, I believe they chop an onion in half and then they batter like the leaf of it, you know, one layer of it, and you can get like a bucket of them, and they're pretty good.
Sweet. What's up, Chaos? Welcome to the stream. Absolute Knowledge Seekers. Hello.
He's in a whorehouse, the red light district.
Yep. Yeah. But Riggs is really cheap. All I had to do was buy him one drink.
Yeah, I'm a cheap whore. or as AKS would say, prosties.
Yeah. Well, Riggs has told me already that I can't touch his no-no square. So.
That's reserved for chaos and chaos only.
Well, Chaos, your bitch is safe.
He was getting his no square touched a lot earlier in his Grand Theft Auto stream. They're putting all sorts of lead in his no square.
Yes, and Absolute Knowledge Seekers is saving his money. He is whore free.
What?
Whore free as the chlamydia grows. As free as.
Him saying no to a prostate?
Yeah, I can't believe it either. You know, you hear all these stories about skull fucking, peace leave.
You better go to the doctor. He ain't feeling well.
Well, Absolute Knowledge got some good news. I'll let him tell everybody. But yeah, congrats, man. That's a big fucking win. A huge fucking win for you.
He had a lot more money in his pocket.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
it stays in his pocket and doesn't go to pay for sluts.
Well, it stays in his pocket instead of her hot pocket.
Yes. Or her prison wallet.
That's true.
Because
that's the government's hot pocket. You mess with that pocket in the wrong way.
You're clean as a whistle. Good for you. Yeah. So when I come to New York, hopefully you'll be moved out.
Yeah, that's not the place you want to be when crap hits the fan.
Yeah.
It's a big city. Like this town here that we're in is approximately 14,000. Sioux City across the river, I think, is maybe a couple 100,000. And I don't even like this city. Like I used to live out on a farm in rural Nebraska, and there was one bar, one cop, and that was it. And that was good with me. I lived on a 6-acre farm. I basically rented out a room. Basically.
Did you have any animals?
The lady had one horse on the property, and I believe that belonged to her son.
Okay.
But I lived out in the fucking sticks, and when I had to move back to town, I fucking hated it. I didn't want to. Out there, you could walk out, check your mail, take a piss if you wanted to, and go back in the house.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you could just whip it out and do your business, and nobody's going to fucking call you into the fucking cops and fuck with you.
It's a 30-minute walk from my the site of my cabin to my mailbox.
Good exercise.
Yeah. So you have all kinds of places you can piss.
Yeah.
On that one.
The question is, does Brandon shit in the woods?
Yes, Brandon does shit in the woods.
You know, they say it was about bears. Does bear shit in the woods?
Well, he's not going to tell you, but I'll tell you.
Well, it is 2022. You know, it's okay to be Rainbow Mafia. So, I mean, you could technically classify yourself as a bear, you know, a manly, what have you.
No.
And drop a deuce in the woods.
No. Excuse me as I whip this out. Yeah, it's a great Blazing Saddles reference right there.
Fucking hilarious movie. That and Airplane.
Yeah.
Ma'am, you're gonna have to reinflate the autopilot. Walks in there. Oh, my bad. I'll leave.
Well,
Don't worry, miss. I speak jive.
yeah, they just could not make that movie these days.
Oh, fuck. Can you imagine how much reading would go on if you produced Airplane today? I mean, just off the arguing in the opening scenes where he's walking into the place.
Yeah.
Or the lady that what's it? She gets the shit smacked out of her.
And then everybody's
And
all
there's a
lined
whole
up.
fucking line, and each person in line's got a bigger weapon to fuck her up.
Yeah. I love that movie. So that reminds me, Riggs. Do you like gladiator movies?
300's pretty good.
That's not a gladiator.
Well, somewhat close. I don't pay attention to where some of them boundaries are.
Anyways, have you ever seen a grown man naked?
Unfortunately.
Oh, we're getting all kinds of information, and I'm just quoting off a fucking airplane.
I'll put it to you this way. Not all men were created equal. Some were created more equal than others.
Yes, that's right. Don't call me Shirley.
Yes. There's some things some people have seen in locker rooms that you probably don't want to see again.
Well,
Like old man balls hanging down to the knees.
if I want to see old man balls, I just drop my pants in front of the mirror.
I could probably do the same. I was going to get in this fucking truck the other day and sat on one of them. I'm like, oh, there it goes. I'm getting old.
Well, when they get hot, they get loose.
And then you got to pay 90 Proof Nancy a visit and let it loose.
Nah.
I only say that to fuck with Polska.
Well, Polska's not here.
He's always like, you leave Nancy out of this.
Oh, man.
So
you were telling me that you're going to join Hermit on the Big Island and live amongst the volcanoes.
yes.
Have you ever had sex?
Yes, a handful of times.
Okay, so you can't.
Single women, married women.
So you can't be
A little bit of both.
sacrificed.
No.
Okay,
I'm a dirty whore.
you're safe then.
Yeah, I'm real safe.
Okay.
And if they do go for, they go for the less virgin ones, I'll probably go for the pretty ones, and well, I'm safe there too.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to scratch my man boob. And you were telling me that you couldn't get a job down in Texas because everybody was wanting you to have the jab.
Yeah, basically every single option I looked at, they basically you got to have your vaccination, jab, whatever you want to fucking call it.
What's your line of work?
I went to school for auto and diesel mechanic,
Right.
but I was looking to go down there to be in the engine room of the rig. So I was basically I'd be rebuilding, generators, the engines that run the pumps that pump the oil out, basic maintenance of the thing, like dealing with pistons the size of your head or bigger.
Yeah.
And they're all no jab, no job. There was one that was said we're looking for basically all the SJW box ticking bullshit. One of them was like handicap. I'm like, realize this is a fucking oil rig. You're looking for handicap people? They're fucking insane.
Well, you should have said that you identify as a quadriplegic Oriental midget.
What, double transgender, transracial?
Oh no, you can't use that. Nobody would believe that. But you should tell them that you identify as a quadriplegic Oriental midget.
Well, I'm not a midget though.
It
I'm
doesn't
six.
matter.
I'm 6 foot. I'm technically Chad height.
Yeah, but it's what you identify as.
Yeah, I suppose you can identify as a fucking Apache helicopter nowadays.
That's true, and people do.
But yeah, basically, they're all no jab, no job, or they're looking for all the SJW bullshit, and I'm not getting the fucking, the jab for something I've already had and got immunity for.
So,
So
Riggs, did you know that I could get you a job as a diesel mechanic?
I've done it around here, working, I believe it was for International, and they weren't paying me. I make more driving a forklift than I do as a mechanic.
Okay.
So I'm basically going to try and ride it out where I'm at, basically live as cheaply as possible, do a bit of the side hustles. I think Hermit was talking about the eBay thing, which I've done before, but I need to buy another package scale. So I'm going to just, save my ass off for like the next year or so and try and get this property bought and go off grid and basically ghost society as a whole and tell everybody else to fuck themselves.
Excellent. Well, once I get to my goal, my financial goal, I'm going to be doing the same thing, just not in Hawaii.
Right. But like when I go on my vacations, I typically go to
Whorehouses?
well, no, not really. I got plenty of that at the rallies I went to over there. But I would fly over to England, where I have quite a few friends over there, bikers, good people. They're not all SJW. They're bikers,
But they talk funny and have bad teeth.
Well, I got bad teeth, so potato. I go over there and hang out with them, and then we would load up our bikes with the camping gear, and we'd go down to the Isle of Wight and basically have a biker party.
Cool.
And
And were you camping like they did in that one cowboy movie?
no, there was no Brokeback action going on, but I did hear American country music in England, and it was throwing me for a fucking loop. I'm like, where am I? Am I in the mid? Am I back home or am I in England?
Riggs has a side saddle.
A sidecar.
Oh, a sidecar. I thought you had a side saddle.
No.
No. Okay.
No, and I don't do that nut to butt action either.
Okay. It's a BMW, I believe.
Yeah, the one I'm going to be taking with me is a BMW K75.
BMW K75 even.
Yeah, it's the better one of the, I think, 2 or 3 different models. The engine's a bit smoother. You can put more miles on it before your ass gets fucking sore and you got to stop.
Is that like you could put like 10 miles versus just 6?
No, even on my Harley, like my ass would go numb at about 75 miles.
Oh, so you've got a high mileage ass.
Well, it's still somewhat tight for my age, but the government hasn't had its way with me yet. Well, through my paycheck anyway.
Well, you haven't lived until you've had the government have its way with you.
No, it's last year I took that bike all the way from here in town, here in Sioux City, down to Oklahoma City in one shot.
That's a hell of a drive.
Yeah, all in one day. Fucking left here. Now I took this road here is technically Highway 77. I took all the way from the bridge where it starts to where it ends in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Cool.
And the longest mileage trip I'd ever taken on a bike was about 300 miles, and I did over 3,000. I got off my bike in Texas and laid on the ground. I was like, ow, fucking ass hurts. Fucking people at my Airbnb were laughing at me because I'm fucking laying on the ground hurting.
Yeah. Well, I told you to take the fucking dildo off the seat before you fucking go riding a long distance.
There's gel in the seat, but it's not that kind of gel. Fucker.
Mouth Gabe says he's got a BMW R1150 RT.
Oh, okay. So that's the oil head boxer with the touring fairing and shit on it. I wouldn't mind one of them.
Do they still have the side draft carburetor?
No, all the it's all fuel injection now, but the cylinders still stick out the sides like normal. The exhaust comes out the front of it, and instead of carburetors, there's a fuel injector and a throttle body, basically.
Oh, okay.
So that's basically how it goes. Now they don't run the Bing. I think it's Bing carburetors, or Kynan, or however you want to fucking call it. But no, they did away with the carbs quite a while ago.
Yeah, because back in the 80s, my brother had one. And he tried to make it work, and he couldn't get that fucking carb to go, or carb correct. Because it was one of the side-mounted ones.
Yeah, I believe it, on the airheads they were Bings.
Yeah, it was a piece of shit.
Well, with those German bikes, you really got to know your shit to get them to really sing.
Yeah.
And
the fact that he was so stoned, he was using a inch-pound torque wrench when he should have been using a foot-pound torque wrench when he put the heads on.
Yeah.
He'd taken about a half mile down the road, bah, blow the heads, have to fucking push it back. Did that fucking 3 or 4 days in a row.
Yeah, you got to have the right tools when you're working on those.
Just, we had the foot-pound torque wrench.
Tool, you know.
He was just so fucking stoned. He was using the inch-pound instead of the foot-pound.
And those airheads are not. Well, I guess you can't be an airhead working on an airhead.
Yeah.
But those are pretty good. I think in, what was it, 83, 84, they went to the single-sided swing arm like with the K75s, K100s have. A little bit easier to fuck with. Less maintenance.
Yeah.
Still got to fucking grease it after when you change the tire, but I got to fucking rip all the guts out of mine and redo the fucking rear main seal because I fucked that up. I accidentally tapped it in a little bit too far on the bottom side, and I let it set overnight, and I see oil in the morning. Like, fuck! That's like a $60 seal. You know, BMW, bring more wallet. But once you got it back together, you know, and you did your shit right, you'll probably want to touch it for quite a long time. You know, 10, 12, 20,000 miles.
Rich Jr. has a scooter. That's how he gets around, is what Chaos says.
Yeah, I scoot right into 90 Proof Nancy's Puniti.
Ooh.
It scoots me right along.
Well, I imagine there's plenty of lubricant there.
Yeah.
From all the extra fucking jizz from everybody else.
No. I'm the first one there. Everybody else gets to use my bazooka juice as lube. Or if I decide to engage my inner pop, I can always throw them in the back of the truck here and try and haul them home. But some of these snow cows around here, man, you almost need a 2500 or F250 with the diesel.
Well, you're a forklift driver.
Yeah, but I don't have a forklift.
Sounds like a personal problem to me.
That is true. That and the one I drive every day, fuck some of these girls you see around here, fucking max it out, you tip it over. Me and my stepdad were going into the Come and Go, the Jizz and Jet, you know.
Yeah.
And we look across the gas station, and there's some girl over there about 3 times my size. She's probably pushing 450 in leggings. And
spandex is a privilege. not a right.
I look at him and I go, "You remember that Ron White comedy deal he did? Like, talk about things that make you go, ugh." And he's like, "Yeah." God, that was horrible. She had her butt on backwards too. She could have probably, produced enough for Munda cheese to put Wisconsin out of order.
Oh man.
And again, Nebraska is the home of the snow cow. Ask Thumper. He's from I can't remember where he's from. He's south of here, or
I thought he was in Michigan.
well, he is now, but
Okay.
I believe he's from southeast Nebraska. No, I believe he's up in. He's a Youper now. Messing with his Pontiacs.
Well, gentlemen, I'm going to have to cut this short because I've had a long fucking day. And I apologize to Riggs for cutting it short, but please take a look at Riggs's joke. It'll be on my shorts coming out soon. And that's the only shorts that Riggs is going to touch of mine.
Right. You ain't touching mine either. There ain't gonna be no highway delight in this Silverado.
No.
This, if it was a Ford, that might be less frowned upon, but this is a Chevy. We don't do that sort of thing.
All right. So the world tour is going to go to Little Rock, Arkansas tomorrow, and then down to Mexico. So
better brush up on your Espanol, hombre.
Yeah.
Just tell them hamburguesa con queso y papas, por favor. Cheeseburger with potatoes, please.
Yeah.
American burger.
Well, I know a much better thing.
Unidi, por favor.
Tres tacos, por favor.
With Modelo.
Yeah. So, y'all have a good night. Thanks for watching. And thank you, Riggs, for fucking jumping out at the drop of a hat and coming to say hello.
Yeah, I'll if anybody else is, wandering through and they want to say hello, I'm more than welcome, likely to at least say hello.
Yeah. And
I won't touch your no square.
He really will.
Contrary to belief.
He will do that.
I am a dirty bastard, but
he'll touch it.
My gate only swings the way it's supposed to swing.
He's lying. His mouth says no. His mouth says no, but his eyes say yes.
Shit. I was born before the Rainbow Mafia took over. So my gate only swings the way it's supposed to swing. And nowadays, being monk, it don't swing at all. I've played with the Puniti plenty enough, and well, once you learn how to flip the switches quite well, you kind of get bored of it. And leave it alone.
Yep.
Focus on other shit like stacking your chips.
All right. Well, speaking of that, remember, no marriage, no cohabitation.
What did say? Oh yeah, don't get married.
Yes, don't get married, and no children. Peace out, brothers, and have a great evening.